Hey y'all, welcome back to the cheat code. I just had some thoughts and I thought I would share. Um, Somewhat intuitive, somewhat just, I don't know, just thinking back to a reading that I did on Blue Ivy, where I was getting some channel messages that her mother was basically, for argument's sake, like grooming her to be, next, and that her introduction would be very slow, but something even along the lines of like maybe her doing like background vocals or her mom doing background vocals for her, or just something, just a really slow introduction. And I recall when Blue Ivy was born, um, when they started talking about her, meaning her parents, Jay Z and Beyonce, when they started talking about her, in particular Jay Z, he was saying that she is beginning to show signs of having an aptitude for music, and she can rap a little bit and kind of carry a note and stuff like that. I believe she plays piano and different things like that. So um, I'm definitely feeling like, it's probably going to be coming up soon. There was another video I wanted to do, which I'm still going to post. It's more along like the lines of fashion, so you're probably going to see that on my other channel. But him being at it was a, I don't remember which basketball game it was, but they were front row, and it was almost like reminiscent of when him and Beyonce used to be front row. So it's almost like, again, like they're doing kind of like a slow introduction to her, I guess, doing whatever she's going to be doing in the music industry and or entertainment industry. But something that crossed my mind was everybody's discussion right now about Jay-Z's hair, and some people like really saying like there's no way that he could have combed out his dreads and his hair looking like that. And something that kind of caught my attention, I guess you could say, or maybe intuitively, like I mentioned, everything's kind of a little bit scattered. I'm like sleep deprived. I've had a lot of things going on, the ascension symptoms, um the spiritual attacks, all kinds of stuff is just kind of scrambling my brain a little bit. So I try to, sort through the information. And then when I get channeled messages as well, it's just been a bit of a challenge. But I wanted to mention that when I saw him the other day, I think he was leaving some office building. I don't know if it was his office building or if he had done an interview, and he was signing some autographs. And I saw his hair, and I was like, his hair looks like Blue Ivy's hair. Like when people were, wanting to do that petition against her hair, they're saying that basically Beyonce wasn't keeping up with her hair, and especially being that her mother was a hairstylist, and the way she takes care of her hair, that she ended up people ended up doing like a whole petition against her, and then all of a sudden Blue Ivy showing up with like her hair in a ponytail or in a bun, and that was like before she addressed it in Formation. Um, and yeah, I was looking at his hair and I'm just like, it reminds me of Blue Ivy's hair. And I'm like, I'm wondering if he's like siphoning her energy, because lately people have been discussing kind of the separation between Beyonce and Jay-Z with the accusations and things that have come across, um, I guess, his plate and how it affects her. And then I started thinking, well, maybe he could be doing the opposite. Maybe he's passing the torch on to her. Because he had mentioned that whenever he is in between albums, that he lets his hair grow out. And I believe, I don't think he mentioned, but I believe an album is probably coming. I know he has his three shows that he's going to be doing in New York. So I'm also curious about who he's going to have on stage, since he has so many I guess disputes with so many different artists at this point in time. I wonder who he's going to bring out on stage as well. I haven't really given much thought to it, but it was just the hair thing that caught me, because especially with the Jean-Michel Basquiat, and people were saying, like, it took people a while to catch on, myself as well, because I didn't even know who Jean-Michel was like years ago. I just heard his name in a song and I'm like, what is this person saying? And I had to like try and look up the lyrics, and then I looked it up and I'm like, who's Jean Michel? And then I looked him up, and then I was like, oh, wow. And I became fascinated. And people have been saying for years that, whoever he connects himself to, that he takes a little bit of their essence, so to speak, whether it be spiritually, because, it has been talked about, Beyonce's spiritual roots and Solange's spiritual roots. She went as far as showing her altar, um, and how they connect to the Orishas, and they're from Louisiana, or at least they have family from Louisiana. Um, and yeah, I was thinking about all the different people over the years that they have claimed that Jay-Z has either copied the cadence of their his in his excuse me in his music, um obviously like the beginning, the Jay-Z Jazzo thing. Who else? I think they even said like young Chris, that was a part of State Property, that he copied his flow. I'm trying to remember everybody. There's so many people. Even Kanye just came out flat out and said in that song Big Brother that it's like he did a song with this person and then Jay-Z did a song with that person. He was into art and then Jay-Z was into art. He was into fashion, then Jay-Z was into fashion. And there's just so many reference points. So it just got me to wondering like, is, because yeah, even back to the Met Gala, I was thinking about the fact that Beyonce was really trying to push Blue Ivy forward and trying to like make it her moment, like her introduction, like, okay, here she is. And when Jay-Z stepped into the picture, it's kind of like she gave him a look like, you're not supposed to be in the picture. This is her moment. I'm her mom. Like, I'm giving the introduction. I'm a part of the committee this year. Like, let me do this. And she kind of seemed a little bothered by it. So yeah, it kind of came across to me two ways. Like, is he siphoning her energy? Like the way that people kind of look at it when he's borrowing from people to build his own self? Or is he passing the torch on to her? So yeah, I just thought I'd share that. I don't know, maybe if I get any channel messages or if I tap in anymore, when I get some rest and my mind is a little bit more clear, get to back to meditating and drinking my water and whatnot, I might have some more updates. But until then, it's the cheat code. There's something else I forgot to mention because I think that's something kind of, I wouldn't say went over people's heads because I could possibly be wrong, but people were also commenting on Jay-Z's freestyle that he did where he was calling out a lot of people and his outfit, like along with his hair. And it was reminding me of, I was about to say Easy E, but then my spirit guys are saying Eric Wright, and I forgot that that's what his name was. But it was really giving me Easy E vibes, like the way that he was dressed with, I don't know if they were Tims or boots, the pants, the jacket, the layers of the jacket. Like I think he had not a flannel, but he had some kind of shirt underneath, and then the jacket over, which was very Easy E. And then especially with the hair, it wasn't a Jerry curl, but it still was the type of hair style that kind of resembles Easy E. And then he had the sunglasses on, and basically how it was like him versus everybody. He touched on a lot of the things that Easy E touched on in his song Real MFGs. And yeah, it was like he was talking about like the record label issues and just all the way that he tackled his freestyle was very reminiscent of Easy E's diss track Real MFGs. So I don't know if anybody caught that, but that's the first thing that caught my eye. I was just like, this is really reminding me, especially like his flow as well. It was really reminding me of they keep saying Eric Wright, so I'll just say Eric Wright. It was really reminiscent of Eric Wright, and a couple of other people mentioned that his style, how he was rapping, his hair, everything was like, where is this coming from? Like he just looks like a completely different person. And again, going along with the channeling that he tends to channel certain people when he, you know, I guess reinvents himself. And yeah, it could be, there could be something there as well too. But as I mentioned, if I get any more channel messages or if I get any other intuitive nudges, hello, let me speak. Any other intuitive nudges, then I will be sure to update you. Again, it is the cheat code. Hey y'all, so I'm back. I just wanted to do a little bit of an update. So I noticed that on June 21st on YouTube, that on Beyonce's channel or her hair care line channel, that she posted a video about Jay-Z and him, I guess his hair transformation, and mentioning that his reason for doing it had to do with um, Blue Ivy's insecurity in her hair. And yeah, that was his reason for growing out his hair. I had always heard in the past from him, like in different interviews, that he had said that he grows out his hair in between albums. And I'd only actually seen him grow out his hair once. I notice that every time I try to talk, I keep missing the H. I've been trying to record this a couple of times. There's a lot of spiritual activity, negativity, actually, I should say, because right after um, I've been struggling to basically, get like these edits done, get all these different things done. And my spirit guides have been on me about trying to get out, different content as it happens. So it could basically like catch the algorithm and stuff. I'm just like, what are y'all just like walking the earth with me at this point? Because I'm just trying to figure out like what do they know about the algorithm? Like it's just weird trying to, mesh spirituality and like the 3D world together because it's like I feel like I'm walking more in spirit than I'm walking in the 3D. It's just very frustrating and annoying. So it's like I've been trying to re-record, and it's just taking my whole entire life to get this done. And half the time it's stuff that I don't even want to do, but we'll save that for another time. Um, I just want to be more of myself and not whatever is trying to intrude. And I actually ended up listening to a reading from someone that was, um, I think I referenced her in a different platform or maybe a different video, talking about the fact that she had been speaking a lot about my life, um, in some strange, complicated way that I'll get to another day. But yeah, I've been listening to a couple of her videos recently, and she's been talking about, different type of spirit energies that might be around you, trying to siphon your energy, trying to cause disturbances and all kinds of things, which have been very real for me. So this is like take 15 at this point. I'm just drained. I'm just trying to just get the information out. So I also noticed that whatever it is, maybe as I've been, advised that they could be earthbound spirits, and as a result, they could just want attention and just want your attention. Because I notice the more that I ignore whatever is trying to disturb me, it's like the heavier that it attacks me, and the weaker that you are in spirit, like literally and figuratively, is the harder the attacks are, the harder they feel. So I'm gonna try and get out the last bit of what I was saying. So yeah, I have only heard him say that he um has grown out his hair in between albums, and I actually have only seen him grow out his hair in between albums once. So I know that Beyonce is very protective of her image, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that story came as, just a story that was concocted for the purpose of, whatever he's doing. Like I said, I was just picking up that I felt like it might be, one of those energetic things, not even really intuitively, so to speak, but just something that I noticed. And then in addition to that, noticing his hair and his daughter's hair. Um, Apparently, I think his daughter authored a book when she was little, um, about her hair as well. But I really think that that might have been, prompted by the challenges that Beyonce had encountered where people were doing a petition about Blue Ivy's hair and hers. I would say Blue Ivy's hair, and people just saying that she, wasn't basically taking care of her hair. And if I didn't mention earlier that, yeah, after that was circulating on the blogs and stuff, she just started, Blue Ivy, she started showing up, well, as a baby, as much as she could show up, in pictures with her hair in a bun. So, yeah, I just kind of felt like maybe they just put that out for the sake of, he said that he was going to cut his hair anyway a long time ago in a Gayle King interview. And I think he is ready probably to release an album. And I think that this is just kind of the in between phase. He could be, leaning on the Eric Wright or Easy E thing that I mentioned earlier. And this just could be the in between phase. And he could be just in the midst of, getting ready to cut his hair, and just, this is a storyline since it seemed to be such a hot topic that, there's no coincidence to take advantage of that opportunity to say, hey, let me promote my products. Because a lot of people were making jokes online that the whole storyline just basically sounded like it was an advertisement for Sacred. And being that it was actually on the Sacred channel, I would assume so, even though they didn't actually promote it. I just kind of watched a snippet of it on another channel. I haven't watched the full 7-minute video. So take that with a grain of salt. But that's just my own 2 cents and my own opinion. So anyways, thanks again for tuning in. It's the Cheat Code.